Hello, poets! This week we are learning how to write a verb poem. And a verb poem is a quick and fun poem that describes an action, because verbs are an action. Verb poems don't typically rhyme. To write a verb poem, all you have to do is think of an action, then write 6 verbs that go with that action. And it's okay if some or even all of your verbs are synonyms, which means that they mean pretty much the same thing. What you need to do first is just brainstorm a list of things that you like to do. And if you zoom in really close, there's quite a few options here for you already, but also try to come up with at least 3 of your own. So I'm going to start by typing in that I like baking, use my enter key to go down to the next line. I like hiking, and I also really enjoy teaching. Now that I've come up with a few ideas, I need to pick a couple of these and use those ideas to write my poems. It says that 2 poems are required and the other 2 are optional. So there's 4 spots altogether, but you only need to fill in 2 of the poems. So there is a structure for this poem. It goes 3 verbs, another 3 verbs, and then a sentence about the activity the verbs describe. And it does give you a little more information up here and a few more examples. So for my first poem, I'm going to write about baking. So I need to start by figuring out what verbs I can use to describe things that you do when you bake. So I'm going to say that I can mix things together. So mixing, I might need to blend some ingredients together. I might need to melt some things. So there's my first 3 verbs. And it doesn't specifically say that they need to end in ing, but if you'd like them to, then you can. They just need to be actions related to your main theme. My next 3 verbs, another thing that usually happens when you're baking, you end up smelling things, tasting things, and then eventually eating things. Now I have my 2 lines of verbs. I just need to put a sentence about the activity. So my last line is going to say, cookies are one of my favorite things to bake. And then I would be all finished one of my poems. So you would need to continue on and write 1 more poem, or a couple more if you'd like, but only 2 are required. And then you would be done writing your verb poems. One really good thing that comes out of writing poems like this is that it helps to expand your vocabulary. So rather than saying that I like to bake all the time if I was writing an essay or a paragraph, I have all these different words that I can now use to help make it so that my language isn't just repeating over and over. So it's really good to use different words like that in your writing. With this poem, just keep in mind that you don't really want to reveal what the action is until that last sentence. So make sure in your first 2 lines, when you're writing 3 verbs on each line, you don't use what your topic verb is. I would save that one for the last line.